Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Katie Asco from Dublin, Ireland, and these are your latest headlines from around the world. Global NGO Open Doors has released its World Watch List 2022, in which it says that Christian persecution has increased across the world last year. The report says that 360 million Christians endure high levels of persecution, and now for the first time, North Korea is no longer the most dangerous. Rather, the most dangerous nation for Christians has been listed as Afghanistan, where the fate of Christians in hiding hangs by a thread after the country's takeover by the Taliban. Out of the 100 countries monitored by Open Doors, the number with high, very high and extreme levels of persecution of believers has increased from 74 to 76. Among the top 10 nations deemed to have the highest levels of persecution of Christians, 7 belong to sub-Saharan Africa. US Senator Josh Howley has demanded an explanation for how the terrorist who attacked a synagogue in Texas on January 15th was allowed to enter the country, given his criminal record and the numerous red flags. In a letter sent on Tuesday, January 18th to Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas, Senator Howley stated that the failure to adequately vet those entering our country is nothing new. He said the Biden administration's botched withdrawal from Afghanistan led to the evacuation of tens of thousands of Afghans into the United States. Hawley said it is past time to begin conducting in-person vetting of immigrants, as strongly recommended by the 9/11 Commission report. A Salesian missionary and his driver have been released from captivity in Haiti, where they were abducted on December 31st. They were released on the night of January 15th, according to Vatican News. The duo was abducted while travelling to an area hit hard by the August 2021 earthquake. Armed gangs roam free across the Caribbean nation, engaging in violence and abductions for ransom, with Christian missionaries and aid workers as their prime targets. Last year, 17 missionaries and their families, including Americans and 1 Canadian, were kidnapped by members of the dreaded 400 Maozo gang. They were abducted in October 2021 and released in December. After the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse and the attempted assassination of Prime Minister Ariel Henry, the internal security of the country has gone from bad to worse. The Diocese of Los Angeles in the United States has invited the faithful to participate in the One Life LA March on Saturday, January 22nd. The march, which is the largest in the diocese, is held annually to defend the right to life from conception until natural death. This year's event is themed Forward in Hope and will begin with a welcome address by Archbishop of Los Angeles, Jose Gomez. The speaker lineup includes pro-life activist Gloria Purvis, Sister Bethany Madonna, Ed Schooner, and Mexican actress Carme Lozano. Following the gathering, there will be an annual Requiem Mass for the Unborn at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels, which will be celebrated by Archbishop Gomez. In Pakistan, human rights organisations held a protest in the city of Karachi demanding government action against the rising number of abductions and forced conversions to Islam of underage girls from minority communities. During the protest, which was held outside the Karachi Press Club on January 17th, rights activists expressed grave concern over the kidnapping and forced conversion of 4 Christian teenage girls this month. On January 4th, a 14-year-old Christian girl named Manor was abducted, converted to Islam, and made to marry her 45-year-old Muslim neighbour. On the same day, 2 teenage girls named Zarish and Angel were kidnapped from Punjab province. 3 days later, a 16-year-old Christian girl named Kiran from Okara in Punjab province was kidnapped from college, raped and abandoned in front of her house. Rights group Voice for Justice spokesperson Ilyas Samuel said that there is a lack of action on the part of the government in stopping gender-based violence and child abuse. The US Supreme Court has announced that it will hear an appeal filed by former high school soccer coach from Washington State, in which he said his right to freedom of religion was violated when the school district fired him in 2015 for praying on the turf after matches. Joseph Kennedy, the former assistant coach at Bremerton High School, wants the top court to reverse the verdict of a lower court in 2017, which favoured the school district. The lower court said in its verdict that the coach had acted in his capacity as a public official by praying with players in view of students and parents. This prompted Kennedy to appeal his case to the Supreme Court in 2019. While the justices did not consider his case at the time, they also didn't rule it out completely. In the Muslim-majority nation of Indonesia, their president has paid tribute to the oldest Catholic university in the country. President Joko Widodo expressed sincere gratitude for the stellar contributions made by the Parayangan Catholic University in Bandung, West Java, in the progress of Indonesia. He was speaking at the 67th anniversary of the university, which is one of the oldest private universities in the nation, on January 17th. President Widodo said that he was grateful for the role played by the institution in the history of the country in the form of thought, human resources, and the real work for the progress of Indonesia. He also inaugurated a new building built in memory of the two pioneering European missionaries, Bishop Pierre Martin Arntz and Bishop Paternus Cornelius Geyse. The event was also attended by Education Minister Nadia Makarim. Oppression of minorities and rights activists by communist authorities in China continues with impunity. In the latest incident, a human rights lawyer was detained on charges of inciting state subversion. This was revealed by his wife, citing an official notice she received weeks after her husband spoke out in favor of a hospitalized teacher. Qi Yang has previously defended Christians and democracy activists, and his whereabouts have been unknown since his detention in Changsha City in Hunan province more than a week ago. The 49-year-old lawyer has been taken in on charges of picking quarrels and provoking trouble, which is an allegation that is frequently raised against activists. Since President Xi Jinping came to power in 2012, the government has intensified its crackdown on civil society. Those are your latest headlines. Do join us tomorrow and visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.